All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and attended audience here in our COVID world to the 10th annual Grand Canyon University Canyon Challenge Business Plan Competition. So we are so excited this year. Number one, it is just an absolute honor to have our kids back on campus. 16,000 kids moved in, living in our dorms here. 20+ thousand taking classes actively face-to-face with professors in a responsible, blended, socially distanced way. It's an enormous effort by all the faculty, all the administration, and we are just so honored to have everybody back. And we're going to continue that. With that being said, this being the 10th annual Canyon Challenge, this is also the first time we have incorporated high school business plans into the competition to run parallel with our own GCU students. And this is a really exciting thing. We had more than 35 participants that recorded their 3-minute videos and pitched their ideas in an awesome way. They were evaluated by our students, and we have 4 that we're going to showcase with 2 winners that we will announce just toward the end of our program here. I want to thank Randy Gibb, our fearless dean of the Colangelo College of Business, who endlessly promotes and fights the battles to keep all the things that we do in entrepreneurship possible. I want to thank so many of our supporters over the years, not the least of which is Mr. Michael Houle from Houle Corey Law. He has been a brilliant supporter for the ecosystem of entrepreneurship for decades in Arizona, and he is our sponsor here today, having allocated $5,000 that will go to our winning companies for our GCU student enterprises. With that, I am Tim Kelly, and I'm chair of entrepreneurship here at Grand Canyon University. Have been now for nearly 10 years. I also chair our group called Canyon Angels, which is an angel investor group that invests in startups from all across the country. We have more than 65 members. This is a student-engaged class as well. So our accredited investors invest in companies that our students help us sort through and help us actually do the due diligence on. And we've deployed now more than $3.5 million into 32 companies. Some of these now are housed here in the building where we are, which is called Canyon Ventures. This is a new initiative chaired by Mr. Robert Vera, one of our esteemed judges as well. But Canyon Ventures is dedicated to a co-working space. We let fantastic startup companies from all across Arizona put a home base right here on our campus, and we give them free rent, we give them free support. All they have to do is hire GCU students, and we have over 100 students working during COVID, in fact, and more than 35 companies housed right here in this 60,000 square foot space. So we are honored to have our Canyon Challenge here once again. With that, let me introduce our judges real quick. We have Andre Tran, who has been a multi-time entrepreneur in his own right with significant exits in the hundreds of millions of dollars in tech space, including a career prior with organizations such as Microsoft. We're so honored to have you, Andre. Thank you so much once again for being a part of entrepreneurship here at GCU. And Mr. Robert Vera, the fearless man with endless energy that promotes all things entrepreneurship as well. These are our esteemed judges who will evaluate the 5 companies pitching. Again, this is a student-led initiative. It is the Idea Club that does, through student efforts, all things entrepreneurship here at GCU. And Carson Foley is our student leader. From here, I am done. I pass it over to him, and he will be the MC for the event. Carson, thank you so much.
Tim, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I want to welcome you guys all to the Canyon Challenge this year. We have an incredible lineup of some amazing student startups that are solving some of the world's biggest problems. I want to give a huge shout out to our Dean, Dr. Gibb, for being an incredible leader, not just in the College of Business, but just leading the entire Valley in what it means to practice conscious capitalism. A huge shout out to Tim Kelly for being not just a mentor to myself, but a mentor to every single person that is involved in this process. Robert Vera, thank you so much for creating a space that allows innovation to truly breed itself. And like they said, this is the first virtual Canyon Challenge. We've had 10 of these. All 10 of them, they've been in person, and they've had huge crowds, and people are pumped to be here, and there's so much excitement, but this is the first year where it's just the camera, and me, and everyone back home watching online. But is that not entrepreneurship within itself? Entrepreneurship is innovation. It's change. It's changing when there's tough times. It's leading through these critical times. And us at Idea Club, we really had to improvise and change to create an incredible event to support our students. So I've had the opportunity to lead 5 incredible companies through the ideation process into creating a real startup that they're going to launch here in the Valley at Grand Canyon University. So thank you everyone for being an incredible mentor, for being part of this process for this incredible event. So with that, I want to officially kick off this year's Canyon Challenge. And as you know, here in Arizona, it's hot. It's hot a lot of the year. Everyone loves to go to the pool. If you ever fly over Phoenix, you'll notice there are pools literally everywhere. Every single house seems to have a pool in the backyard. And what do you need if you have an amazing pool? You need an amazing bathing suit. And our first participant in this year's Canyon Challenge is Kaylee Scooble. She has an incredible bathing suit company that is going to impact the world and is destined for greatness. So everyone welcome Kaylee Scooble.
Hello, my name is Kaylee Scooble, and today I'm presenting you with my company, Viva Brilliant. I started this company this past spring, making custom and couture swimwear. I've always struggled finding the perfect swimming suit, and I have the skills to make swimming suits, and I wanted to share this gift that God has given me with other girls. I am the owner and the creator. I draft all of my patterns, make all of my swimwear and accessories. This past summer, I have partnered with Trendy Acres and the Tin Cactus, two boutiques that I absolutely love. Here's the problem, is every girl wants their perfect bathing suit, but these are hard to come by and they come at a cost. Either a comfortable and functional swimming suit is extremely expensive, or custom swimming suits are really hard to come by and only directed towards celebrities and those of high profiles. How I'll solve this problem is by giving girls the opportunity to choose a swimming suit from the line that I've worked really hard on, or to customize a swimming suit. We'll work together and customize your perfect swimming suit. I sell bikini tops, bikini bottoms, face masks, scrunchies, and you can customize any one of these products. My competitive advantage is that my swimwear is affordable, easily accessible, reliable, and customizable. Ways to shop is through my website or through the boutiques that I have partnered with. Here is a picture of what my website looks like. There's a gallery where you can see swimwear that is part of my line or custom swimwear, somewhere to shop, gift cards, and somewhere to contact me if you want a custom swimming suit made. Here are some of my customer feedback. In the feedback, you'll see that girls have talked about how comfortable the swimming suits are, the reversible swimming suit, and the unique designs. Here you can see Aubrey. I customized her swimming suit, and she told me that it was exactly what she was looking for. The past 8 months, I've sold 30 bikini bottoms, 30 bikini tops, 40 accessories, and 15 custom orders, putting my total revenue at $3,000. You can see here that I had a spike in June, but that does increase as we go on throughout the year. But this is fairly typical within the swimming suit industry. Here in November, you can see that sales have started to go up as my name and my brand has been spread throughout campus. It cost me about $10 to make a bikini top or bottom, putting my total profit at $30. An accessory cost me about $5 to make and putting my total profit at $10. My current market is GCU female students. However, I want to expand this market to women 15 years old to 30 years old, but not limited to this age bracket. My marketing strategies are through Facebook and Instagram, and I will soon be marketing through local markets, starting with the GCU student market this coming Wednesday. Here you can see that there are 22,000 GCU students. 2/3 of those students are female, and 90% of those female students enjoy going to the pool or swimming. If I sold to only half of the 90% of students that enjoy going to the pool for an average sale of $65, I would put my total revenue at $429,000. This would cost me about $65,000 to do, putting my total profit at $364,000. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Kelly, great presentation. Can you tell me what who and how do you customize each suit?
So it kind of depends on who you are and what you're wanting. Usually it's through direct forum, or we'll meet in an in-person consultation. We'll draft out a pattern. I'll make a test product to see if they'll like it, and then if they do like it, or we'll make whatever changes they want, and then I'll make the final product.
So any ideas on how to make that scalable? Because it seems like you're doing all the customization.
Right. So say this does get bigger, which I imagine it will. I plan on finding a manufacturer to make my line of swimwear and hiring about, depending on how big I get, probably right now, probably about 5 women that are at my same level of sewing that can also do what I am able to do.
One more question. Can you speak to your revenues to date?
What was that?
What are your revenues to date
I am at $3,000.
this year?
Yes, this year, in the last 8 months.
And what are your profits on that revenue?
I think it is about $2,500.
Okay, have you determined a valuation of your company?
I have not.
Okay, thank you. Andre?
Kaylee, great presentation, and
Thank you.
congratulations for your traction. It's very difficult to get a consumer product into the market as quickly as you did. My question is, since your beachhead or your market entry strategy is to go after the GCU female student, did you have a chance to talk to the GCU Lopes store in order to get some sort of a deal where you can have the name of GCU on top? Because when I go to the GCU store, what I want is to have a product that has GCU name, like this mask, and what type of deal you think that you can get from them in terms of royalties, in terms of cost to you on top of your $10 of production.
Okay, I have not talked to a GCU or the Lope store. It's something I've definitely thought about. I think that I would probably sell to them just like I sell to any other company, which is 20% off when you buy 20 or more items. And we could also work with them on making custom swimwear with the GCU logo on and having GCU's name on it.
Thank you very much for your answer. How much money are you looking for, and what it is that you want to achieve with that money?
I'm probably just looking for money that would, where I could go full time with this, probably $50,000 annually. However, I do want to go somewhere big with this, where this could be bringing in about $1 million to $2 million a year.
Last question, to follow up on Mr. Rivera's question. If I give you $100,000, how much I own in your company?
What was that again?
If I give you $100,000 to cover 2 years, how much would I own as an equity of your company?
I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
Yes, my question is how much you value your company, so that if I put $100,000, how much percentage I would own from your company?
You know, I am not sure. I would probably say 10%.
Wow, 10%. Maybe you and I should put in 50 each. Could we get 50% for 100,000?
You might be in violation of certain securities. Yes, you are. No, you don't need to answer that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylee, so much for that incredible presentation. Yeah, I know that I'm a guy, but if she made some guy swimming trunks or something like that, I would for sure be the first in line to buy an incredible swimsuit from her. She's doing an incredible job growing that company, making real sales, and doing some incredible work. Our next participant in this year's Canyon Challenge is a little bit different. He's a mixture of tech, he's a mixture of transportation, he's kind of doing it all. A lot of us, we live here on GCU's campus, and if you're like me, sometimes you wake up a little late for class, sometimes you skip an alarm, you snooze it again, and then you snooze it a third time, and then you wake up and you realize, oh, crud, I'm gonna be late for class. Our next competitor, Asher Cameron, is going to solve that problem once and for all for GCU students. So if you could do me a favor, welcome Asher Cameron with Lopes Ride.
All right, thank you, Carson, for that amazing introduction. Thank you guys for being here. Really grateful for this opportunity. But anyway, my name is Asher Cameron, and I'm super, super excited to talk to you guys about my company, Lopes Ride. So imagine you're like me. Imagine you're running out of the dorm, frantically looking at your watch, thinking, oh no, I'm going to be late to class, right? We've all been there. But in my situation, I know that I have a 15-minute walk ahead of me. You know, in this moment, I know that I'm hopeless. Because you see, GCU has a really, really big campus. And because of that, students like me and other students are spending a significant amount of time every single day walking to class. And, you know, like me, I don't have a longboard. I don't have a bike or scooter. So I'm having to walk everywhere because, frankly, they're a little bit too expensive for me. And also, they have a big learning curve, right? I'm too afraid I'm going to embarrass myself on something like a longboard because I see people over on Lopes Way all the time falling on their longboard. I don't want that to be me. And the reality of it is, as GCU continues to grow and expand, this problem is only going to get bigger, right? What's unique about GCU is that over 70% of students that are on campus live on campus. So there's going to be more people with this problem. GCU just announced that there's 3 more apartment buildings coming up on the far northeastern side of campus. So I'm guessing that these students who are living there next year are going to have a lot of ground to cover every single day. Let's go back to that situation. And in that moment, I'm running out of the dorm. I have a long walk ahead of me. In that moment, I'm thinking, man, I wish there was a solution to this problem. And I think I have the perfect solution. That's a network of dockless electric scooters available for GCU students and faculty to rent for a short period of time. Now, these scooters are going to be incredibly easy to use. Unlike a longboard, anybody can ride a scooter. And they're going to be capable of transporting anybody from anywhere on campus. They're also going to be really easy to access. It's going to come with an app that will allow anybody to unlock a scooter and begin riding within seconds. You know, unlike GCU, other college campuses around the country already provide a system of transportation for their students, whether it be a bus service, shuttle service. But I think this solution is way better because not only is it really fun for students, it's also eco-friendly as well. So let me show you a little bit how it works. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to download the Lopes Ride mobile phone app on your phone. And then you're going to go into that app and create an account. Once you create an account, you're going to link the app with a payment source of some kind. And then once you've done that, you're going to find a scooter just like this one. That's how it's going to look. You can either do that by just seeing a scooter on the side of the road, or you can actually go into the app and view a map of all the scooters across campus. So once you find a scooter, you're going to scan the unique QR code on the scooter. That'll unlock the motor for you, and then once you do that, you'll be able to ride as long as you want and get charged per minute. And then once you're done, you just simply park the scooter on the side of the road wherever your destination was, and you end the ride on the app. Lopes Ride serves pretty much anybody who's on GCU's campus. Anybody who's here will have access to these scooters, but specifically I want to target the students who are spending a lot of time walking every single day on campus. I had a theory a couple weeks ago that there's a lot of students still, despite all the longboards and scooters that you see already, that there's a lot of students that are walking on campus, and I was right. I surveyed 262 GCU students and found that about 35% of them are walking on campus. That's approximately 8,000 students. And out of those students who said they walk, 35% of them said they walk over an hour each day. Now, that's a lot of walking. And then out of the students that said they walk, also 49% of them said that they're at least late 1 to 3 times per week. That's a lot considering we're in blended learning. Imagine those numbers if it's regular class time. Imagine those numbers would be higher. So this isn't a new idea. There's a lot of companies that are doing this right now. I'm sure you've heard of them. Companies like Bird, Lime, and Spin. They've been able to be really successful in helping college students across the country with this issue. But I think it's also important to remember that Lopes Ride will actually be exclusive to GCU students on GCU's campus, so there will be no direct competition. Another important part of this service will be a maintenance team. So along with me, a maintenance team would help me really with swapping scooter batteries, rebalancing scooters, customer service, and scooter maintenance. And what's really, really cool about this is it also provides students on campus some job opportunities for those students who want to make a couple extra bucks here and there. So as far as financials, I'm expecting us to spend about $300 a month on each scooter unit, which comes to about just under $40,000 a month for a fleet of 120 scooters. Now, that brings us to revenue. I think we could easily achieve $15 a day per scooter if we average 3 rides a day per scooter at $5 a day per ride, which gives us about $54,000 a month for a fleet of 120 scooters. Now, these numbers are based off what companies are already doing on college campuses, and because of the results from the surveys that I've gotten, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd actually be higher. So as far as revenue for our first year, I'm expecting us to make about $540,000, and then I'm expecting us to profit about $145,000 in our first year. Thank you so much. Questions, please.
Asher, thank you very much. Excellent presentation. And congratulations for identifying the opportunity for e-scooter in a college campus that Lime and Bird has already identified. So my question is about pricing. Those companies charge $1 to check out the scooter and about 25 cents a minute. Can you tell me about your pricing to come up with the $5 or $15 a day?
Yes, that's a great question. I'm actually thinking about making it a little bit less, either making it $1 to unlock, but maybe 15 cents or 20 cents per minute to rent, or just maybe a flat fee of 25 cents per minute and no like dollar to unlock part of it.
All right. Second question and last question. How much money you need to acquire the fleet of a scooter that you are planning in deploying on the campus?
So to get started, I'm going to need at least $300,000 just to launch the fleet, and that's going to be 120 scooters on campus, and that includes the hardware and the software. But the great part about that is once we get 120 on the ground, we'll see how that goes, and it'll be extremely easy to scale with the software that is available.
Asher, great presentation.
Thank you.
120 scooters, is that going to be enough for a test?
I think that's more than enough, actually. That's a great question. I think it's going to be more than enough as far as people being able to try out the scooters and ride it and get some data feedback on where the hot spots around campus are. I think we'll be able to then go in and really get the information that we need to see how many scooters we need to launch come this next year.
Okay, notwithstanding your numbers, have you got all your costs, and meaning insurance cost, maintenance costs, have all that been factored in to your pro forma that you presented?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And have you done any preliminary discussions, or have you had any preliminary discussions with GCU to say, hey, why haven't you done this? I mean, the powers to be at GCU. Have you done that?
Yeah, because that was my question at first. I was like, why hasn't anybody thought of this? I actually talked with public safety. They said that it wasn't necessarily because of safety reasons that they banned them, but they did ban other companies from coming on, like Spin and Bird and stuff like that, from coming on campus. I think it's because of just the branding of GCU and not knowing really what that's going to look like. But college campuses around the country are letting these scooter companies come on their campus and help and serve their students. What's unique about this is that I want to partner with GCU to help these students. So not only will they be able to provide transportation from students, but be able to make money from it as well, which is unlike what the other companies can offer.
Great. Thank you. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Asher, thank you so much for that incredible presentation. And I guarantee you here shortly, we're going to see Lopes riding all over the place. It's going to be a hit commodity that GCU students are going to enjoy for years to come. Like I said at the beginning, our job and our mission here at Idea Club is to solve the world's biggest problems. And when you think of big problems in the world, you might think of poverty, you might think of starvation, you might think of these giant problems. But did you know that some of the world's most poor countries don't have access to energy, don't have access to electricity, don't have access to these key things that people need in order to survive? Well, our next contestant in this year's Canyon Challenge is looking to solve that exact problem. I want to introduce our next contestant, Eric Yost, the founder and CEO of Generate. Eric, come on up.
Thank you. My name is Eric Yost. I'm a freshman at Grand Canyon University, and I'm studying mechanical engineering. I'm here presenting my company, Generate. Generate is a alternative for the traditional battery and power supply for all areas around the world. Our mission statement is to provide a source of renewable and sustainable energy for people who need it the most around the world, whether this is in a developed country or in a third world country. So the current problem is that energy is not sustainable for long periods of time. It's not scalable from a personal to industrial level. It's not safe for the environment and atmosphere, and it's not able to be used by everybody, everywhere. So my solution is something called a microbial fuel cell. A microbial fuel cell is a fuel cell that on one side has bacteria within dirt, and on the other side there's a growth medium. This growth medium can be compost, sodium lactate, or any form of organic waste. The bacteria found in dirt consume the waste, and they're growing and they're reproducing, and they respirate electrons. I capture those electrons in a graphene felt, and I harness it into a closed circuit and electricity. The microbial fuel cell is extremely efficient and is a sustainable power source. A microbial fuel cell can also be used for hydrogen production and wastewater cleaning around the world. I'm currently independently operating Generate. I've worked with NASA for the past 3.5 years researching sustainable energy for microgravity. I also have 6 personal projects on the International Space Station and placed first at the American Society for Gravitational and Space Research. This product, as NASA saw, can change the world and how we see energy being made, both in space and on Earth. My research has shown that in space we reach a peak voltage faster, but on Earth we're able to generate just over 0.7 volts. In space, with our average voltage of 0.81, we're able to generate enough electricity for 4 LEDs. On Earth, the 0.73 volts equates to about 3 LEDs being lit consistently. With only a bag of 50 milliliters of sodium lactate, we're able to light 3 LEDs with this large of a fuel cell over the course of 30 days. The applications for this product are endless. This technology can range all across the board, whether it's from a flashlight to a personal power supply to from electric car chargers in buildings. For a flashlight, this technology is able to power a flashlight for over 30 days straight with only one small bag. As a personal power supply, if scaled up only 5 times, it is able to charge the average iPhone. If scaled almost 20 or 30 times, we're able to charge the average Tesla or electric car in the United States. The market is also very vast for this technology. For the flashlights, you're able to sell it to hikers, RV campers, and the everyday household. Everyone uses a flashlight, whether they're in a developing nation or in the modern world. Everyone also uses batteries. Batteries have become a consistent part in our life for how we consume and use electricity. Electric car chargers are also becoming increasingly important. As the popularity around electric cars is skyrocketing, so is the need for car chargers. This technology is able to allow you to charge your car wherever you are, as long as there's dirt and waste around you. My competitors are solar power, lithium-ion and alkaline batteries, and Tesla. But the problem is that solar power is weather-dependent, expensive, and is prone to labor and mechanical failure. Batteries have a short lifetime, they're toxic and bad for the environment, and they're very expensive and non-renewable. Tesla does not have any current portable chargers for their cars, and there's not enough superchargers around the United States for them to use. My product application example is a flashlight. I'm able to make a flashlight for only $5, and I can sell it for over $50. This is the first ever biofueled flashlight on the market. I can power 3 LEDs in a capsule just this size, the size of an average flashlight, with only 50 milliliters of a growth medium. And this is a renewable and rechargeable growth medium that is able to change how we use electricity. This technology is able to change the world and serve the world. We can provide the world with renewable and sustainable energy. We can help third world countries like these photos show from Liberia. We're able to use the electricity that's produced from their dirt for educational purposes and for communication. We're even able to use their human waste as the growth medium so that the bacteria are able to consume that waste and produce electricity for them. The applications of this technology is truly endless. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. So you're a freshman,
Yes, sir.
and you've already worked for NASA.
Yes, sir, for the past 3.5 years.
3.5 years. And you've placed first in a space competition,
Yeah, I was the American Society for Gravitational and Space Research.
and you successfully have built a microbial battery and sent it into space.
Yes, I sent this fuel cell into space 3 times.
Yeah. Your parents must be so disappointed. So that's incredible that you've done this so far. My question is, can you speak to the commercial viability that you've already created here? What projects have you used it on here, and have you augmented the capabilities, or at least the DC capabilities of the battery with other lithium-ion or solar? Have you joined the sources together?
That is certainly the goal for the future. My current product is research and development, where I'm researching and developing how to actually build a flashlight out of this, and I'm able to combine that with the powers of a battery and the powers of solar panel. So I'm able to put them together, so we're able to have so much more times the amount of energy produced.
Okay, and I have a couple more questions. Does the amount of microbes, meaning if you had more microbes, would you get higher volts? Seems like your voltage is a little bit low.
Yeah, so the more microbes and the more growth medium. The only deterrent for this is how much growth medium is actually inputted into the fuel cell. So this will continue running for as long as it goes on, as long as there's a substantial amount of growth medium continue to be cycled through.
So it could be used in a landfill, for example.
Yes.
And that would not, I mean, typically landfills have methane, but this could also augment the whatever capabilities they're getting out of the landfill for fuel as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And have you seen other companies like this, and do they have a valuation associated with them?
I've not seen other companies like this. This fuel cell is especially efficient because I use this different type of bacteria that's actually very commonly found out in the dirt everywhere, and I use a sodium lactate to increase efficiency within it. This is a brand new company, brand new idea that I really think is going to skyrocket. And
what would NASA be using this for?
NASA, my research at NASA through Quest Institute was for long-term space travel. It's about 6 months to Mars, astronauts produce waste and stuff like that. We're able to harness that waste and produce electricity in the confines of microgravity.
Okay. Thank you. Incredible, Eric. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Vera.
Dr. Tran?
Eric, fantastic presentation, and I like the fact that you positioned yourself right away to lend credibility with your background. The VC call it the aha moment, where you have the unique insight that back your project. My question is a little bit more technical. I used to write my doctoral thesis on a microfuel cell, and microfuel cell has been a lot of promises because, as you know, the energy concentration is very high. However, there was a lot of disappointment in terms of development and application. And I like to ask you how the key challenges in microfuel cell release of energy is the very slow start. When you have the flashlight, like you say, you switch on, and it takes a lot of time to release energy. The current is also very unreliable and not constant. So how you solve that problem with your new material and micro material that you use for your product?
So I use graphene felt as the semi-permeable membrane between the bacteria and the growth medium. So I am also researching different ways to be able to harness it, just like solar power does at night, where it's able to hold the electricity that's generated when the product's not in use, and so it's able to use it for further applications later on when you need to turn on the flashlight. But the graphene felt is proven to be almost completely responsive to harnessing the electrons.
Have you tried also the open air cathodes in salt water to improve the release of energy through those gates that you show us in the graphic?
I have not done research into like the desalinization aspects of the fuel cell, but I know it is commonly used for hydrogen production and remote power sensing with it. But I'm focusing on the fuel cell application of it in a closed container due to my research with microgravity with it.
All right. Thank you very much. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
As you can see, our competitors this year are truly out of this world. I can see that not only being a product that we use here on GCU's campus for various different things, but rather a product that truly changes the world forever. Now, like I said at the beginning of this competition, and I'll say it again, is that we really want to solve some of the world's biggest problems. And we're solving problems like energy. But what about health-related problems? Our next contestant is someone who is solving for the problem of heart arrhythmia. And not necessarily solving for the disease itself, but helping people who suffer from this to live their best lives. So I want to invite out our next contestant, Wyatt Winfield, and his product, Biohart. Wyatt.
Thank you very much. Hello, my name is Wyatt Winfield, and my product is Biohart. We are producing an arrhythmia monitor that will be capable of allowing individuals to lengthen their lives and cope with the condition of heart arrhythmia. Unfortunately, for those of you tuning in through live stream, you won't be able to see this beautiful fellow here, David Young, but he is my friend, business partner, and mentor, and the inventor of this technology. Several years ago, he began to experience heart fluttering, chest pains, fatigue, and sweating, symptoms commonly associated with a heart condition of some sort. After several inconclusive readings, he eventually received the diagnosis of heart arrhythmia, something that is associated with over 750,000 hospitalizations and 130,000 deaths every year. Because this is such a serious condition that affects so many Americans, the medical field has invested $26 billion to keep these symptoms at bay. It affects roughly 6.1 million other Americans as of 2010 and a projected 12.1 million Americans in 2030. Individuals with heart arrhythmia are 5 times more likely to suffer from a stroke of some sort. 1 in 7 strokes actually are a direct cause of heart arrhythmia. You are 20% more likely to be hospitalized on any given year as a result of heart arrhythmia. And in David Young's case, you can develop vascular dementia. However, before the onset of his vascular dementia, David Young was able to patent a biofeedback application that uses a Polar H10 monitor and Samsung device. It will soon be Apple compatible. But nonetheless, he was able to monitor his heart arrhythmia and cope with it effectively. So what we do is we monitor heart arrhythmia and heart rate variability. By refusing to round or average or smooth the data like a lot of our competitors do, we allow individuals to get the most accuracy possible out of their heart monitor. This will allow individuals to use the audio feedback, which is a little crude at the moment and will be reworked through the use of a sound engineer, so that their heart sounds a little bit like a song to them, and heart episodes sound more like a missed note. We will also have an AI algorithm with an accompanying vibrational alert. That way, when an individual has a concerning heart stutter, he can get a vibrational message to urge him to change his behavior or start doing something differently. And so this will allow individuals to optimize their lifestyle. In David Young's case, he was able to cope accordingly with his arrhythmia, and he was able to lengthen his lifespan by years. There were several instances as well in which he was prescribed medications that would have otherwise stopped his heart because they malignantly affected his heart. He was able to prove to his physician that the medications that were prescribed to him were malignant, and he was able to receive peace of mind, a key selling point to the average user. Heart arrhythmia is a condition that seems rather ambiguous and confusing to the typical user because they can't grasp it. But with our system, they will be able to see, feel, and hear their heart, and they will have the power to adjust it accordingly through their lifestyle. This will also allow individuals to correspond with their physician and tailor their treatment exactly for their needs, something that is extremely important, patient and physician engagement, in improving patient compliance. So far, we've invested $11,000 into this program. The acquisition of our patent and the accompanying prototype you saw before cost this much. However, we are planning on investing another $10,000 in order to produce an Apple-compatible application and to refurbish this UI so that it's more digestible to the typical user. Because of the lack of investor pressure, because this is privately funded by David Young, we are able to release this product for an affordable price, one of his wishes, of 99 cents a month. When compared to our competitors, which is serving an older audience on a fixed income and charging them $10 to $20 a month, our price does not scalp them, and it offers a more superior form of heart monitoring with a higher degree of accuracy and the added features that I told you about earlier. In order to break even and become profitable within a year, we have to reach 0.34% of the market in 2010 and 0.17% of the market in 2030. However, there are other potential customer segments. Because of the clear link between your orientation and breathing and heart rate variability, individuals in high-stress situations with a high level of physical demand, for example, women in labor, race car drivers, fighter pilots, and athletes, can all benefit from this biofeedback system and learn to optimize their lifestyle so that their breathing and physiological feedback is optimized and their performance can be increased. This is an example of undisciplined breathing effect on the heart rate variability, and this is associated with a lower level of concentration and associated physical capacity. This is a lot of information in about 5 minutes, and I'm sure I've gone over just a little bit. So if you have any questions and you'd like me to expand on anything, I'd be more than happy to. Thank you for your time.
Wyatt, excellent presentation. Thank you.
Thank you,
Look,
sir.
I think that you're right on. You've outlined the marketplace. Can you tell me about the distribution model? How are you going to get this product into the hands of people that need it, or the target market?
Yes, sir. I'm very thankful that you asked this question. So we want to partner with Polar. Because we'll be using the Polar monitor specifically, they'll be incentivized to partner with us. And we'll allow Polar to push our application as something that's Polar certified. And we'll also get FDA approval and certification so that the physician can actually prescribe this to the patient themselves. And insurance will front the bill for the Polar monitor, which costs roughly $90 otherwise. And this will allow the user to get it straight from their source, the medical professionals, or from the app market through Polar's advertisements.
Okay, before you do that, is there FDA approval required?
Yes. Now, because we are a health app, we have to prove that this does not harm individuals, which will be easy. And because the market is largely clamoring at an idea like this currently, there are precedents that we can follow and prove that this is a valid option that will help users.
Okay, and what's the time frame for FDA approval?
The time frame for FDA approval, from what I've heard, is roughly between 3 months and 6 months. But I need to generate the data necessary to prove my case, which may take longer.
Okay, and just on your pricing, it seems like 99 cents is frankly pretty low.
Yes.
Any ideas to increase that?
So we want to reach as large a market as possible, but we also want it to be affordable. That is the main selling point of this. And if we have to, invest more money into this project, then it is possible we can raise this subscription fee. However, we want to keep it as affordable as possible so that we can glorify God in providing a product that both helps people and does not scalp the users.
Amen. Now, can you give me your evaluation?
Okay, so as a lot of folks have told me already, a patent is only worth as much as you're willing to defend it. However, the intellectual property and the idea itself is priceless, but in the field of court, it can be very expensive. Therefore, because we've only invested around $11,000 and we have a lot of headway, my company is currently valued at about $20,000, which seems pretty meager. However, when we take steps forward and receive the financial and legal protection necessary to be a competitor in the business sphere, then our value can shoot up into the millions.
Thank you, Wyatt. Excellent presentation. Great job.
Thank you.
Excellent presentation, and congratulations for identifying one of the very growing and big market. I did the research quickly, and the arrhythmia monitoring device market is about $8 billion with a growth rate of 6% annually. So congratulations for identifying that opportunity. Now, when you have an opportunity like that, you have very big competitors. And
Yes.
one of the big competitors is, as you know, Cardia Core by Alive Cardia. Cardia is FDA product already. It has been in the market for a long time. It has a very strong install base. I saw that your product has a one lead, which is a one presentation of the heart. Cardia has the new standard, which is a 6 lead, which is 6 way to present the heart from the abnormal high beat versus the abnormal low beat, called, as you know, a bradycardia or a tachycardia. So how do you catch up technologically before you go for FDA approval? Because you want to get the FDA approval for the 6 lead instead of staying on the 1 lead presentation.
Indeed. I've been speaking a lot with GCU's engineering department. I'm planning on partnering with them and using GCU's available students and all of their assets to push this product and also benefit GCU in the process. And I was speaking with Jeff LaBelle, and he has about 4 years of research using something similar like this with a product that was very similar that we can use as reference. And that will save us a lot of money. It cost them about $2 million to generate that. And because we're working with individuals from Lockheed Martin, such as Joe Reglis, we also have the professional skill set necessary to give us an edge on the market and allow us to catch up quickly. We're also working with physicians in this field that recognize the need for something like this. And if we cannot compete with such a broad-ranging product, then what we'll do instead is we will specialize so that we can hit niche customer segments expertly.
Very good answer. So you're very right. In order to develop from a 1 lead presentation and view like this into a 6 lead, it would cost you about $2 to $5 million in order to build the technology and the product. Now, I would like to join Mr. Vera about the pricing. I look at the competitors. Everybody is pricing about $100 for the piece of material, plus $90 a year for the yearly subscription, which is about $10 a month. So if you price at less than $1, you probably leave the money on the table. So I would suggest that maybe revise your pricing strategy.
Okay, I'll definitely take that information to heart. Thank you very much for your professional advice.
Yes, thank you very much for your excellent presentation.
Thank you.
As you can see, we really are changing the world here at Idea Club. We are solving some incredible problems. Now, one of the problems I had over break was I had a lot of free time. I was sitting at home on my computer, and as you know, over this time, the stock market has been a bit crazy. And so I thought, hey, I'll get my toes wet. I'll get into the stock market a little bit, and I put some money in, and then I lost some money, and then I lost a little bit more, and then, well, you know, and then I lost half the portfolio, and next thing I knew, I had very little money left in my portfolio. So if you're coming to me with investment advice, I have none. I'm terrible at it. But our next contestant and our final contestant at this year's Canyon Challenge is Trace Walters. He is coming out with an incredible app that is going to be the future of social trading. So, Trace, would you please come out here and share all about your new app, Share?
All right. Thanks, Carson. My name is Trace Walters. I'm a freshman here, or a sophomore here at Grand Canyon, and I'm here to talk about Share, a social investing app. So this market has seen big changes in the past 4 years alone. So we've seen rapid growth in the mobile investing industry. In this illustration, I just take the top 3 competitors, that's Robinhood, Webull, and E-Trade, and I just graph their growth, and they've seen a 500% increase in the amount of users and the amount of people trading on their apps, up to over 25 million people in this year of 2020. So the problem with these apps is that a lot of these investors are losing time. They're losing time searching for information that they can rely on, things that aren't curated for them or biased information. And this is overall just leading to a lack of confidence in these investors, and they will become disengaged and they just start investing less overall because they have less confidence, right? So the solution to this is an app that prioritizes collaboration as well as communication, and that it has information readily available for the user and on there for them, and that is actually integrated into the user's experience, meaning that they, while they're on the app, they'll be able to get useful information that they can act on and they can trade on. So how we're going to start by doing this with Share is we're going to adapt all of the standard investing features that the modern users love, like zero commission trading, no minimum account balance for people, easy to get started, and the use of fractional shares or split stocks, which is just buying a fraction of the share instead of the whole $400 of Tesla. So users will be greeted with a social feed, something that shows them when people are buying and selling and just real activity from their friends and other people that they're following and other investors. So they will be, and all of this is going to be interactive, so you can click on any of these posts and dive in for a deeper look, or you can pin this for later. And this is all interactive, so if we took this third one down, Joe, if we clicked on his profile, it would show us like the stocks that he's invested in, as well as some of the his recent activity. And we also see on this left screenshot that there's a little buy button. So this is what we're calling the mirror feature. So after someone has went in and looked at what stocks Joe has, what's in the red, what's in the green, they could push this buy button and they could put any amount they want to, and it will directly mirror the stocks that Joe has. And it will take those and purchase those and put them in their own portfolio to use and watch it grow as like a single stock. And this is going to be really easy for new investors to get on and start investing with confidence. So our competition, there's about 4 other apps that are kind of in this main area, but Share is going to be the only one that allows for easy investing and a social feed with unbiased content. There's no news articles or written posts by people with opinions, or you even see now on Twitter, companies will post just to try to juice their stock. And it's all going to be user-friendly and incorporated right there, and incorporate something we're calling action data, which is just the facts of the trade, when people are buying, when they're selling, and what they're buying and selling. So our target audience, we're going to start off by marketing this to young users, people who are already investing, about 18 to 35, but not limited to, and people who are already communicating about stocks, whether that's on forum pages, online, or on one of those competitive apps that I mentioned earlier, and that they have a background in the stock market, they're researching, and they're already having these conversations. It'll be easy for us to market to these platforms, like these websites. Most of them only make money from ads, so we would be able to take advantage of that and get some of those customers. So our revenue, whenever people actually put money on the account, we will earn an interest on that. And this other thing called market makers rebates. So instead of sending the trades to the New York Stock Exchange, which just costs too much money, we send it to a market maker, and they can sometimes find a better price, and when they do, we get some of that money back in the form of a rebate. And there's room to advance also. There is, we could implement subscription-based, offering more tools for people to invest, or do marginalized trading and loan out and take commission on that. So what the future may hold for us, with over 25 million people in this market, this illustration just shows the amount of users that it will take to generate that amount of revenue. So at the very bottom with 100,000 users, which is, I believe, 0.4% of this over 25 million people investing on their phone. So we can generate $1 million in revenue. And our best case scenario here, which is 3% of this entire market, is 750,000 users and can generate over $7 million annually in revenue. So the team right now is just me and my business partner, James. He's been working with me remotely from California on this idea. And we would need a team of developers, whether we offer them equity in order to get this started, or if we can have a large investment and pay for them at market value. And we would also need legal consultants just to make sure that as we're going through and as we're developing, that we are staying within the regulatory and legal boundaries of this idea, which there is a lot. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Trace. Great presentation. Let me ask this question. Are you going to become a broker-dealer?
So there's a couple routes that we could take. The broker-dealer could take up to 2 years or more, and it takes a lot of capital to start. So we could do that. We could start working on that now, and we could also look into a partnership with maybe Robinhood or Webull or one of these other apps that already have established. They're already an established broker-dealer, and it would cut that time tremendously.
Okay, can we drill down on that for 1 second? So let's just say you do have some type of agreement with a Robinhood.
Right.
Why would they? It seems like you're after the same market. Why would they partner with you?
Well, we would be sending the trades through them, and so that kind of like the market makers rebates, they would still be getting some of that. So the more trades that we send to them, that's going to incentivize them to want to work with us, because we'll be giving them more trades, which is more revenue for them as well.
Right, but why wouldn't people just use Robinhood instead of your app?
Oh, well, because they don't have the social capabilities that we do. They just have a place to invest and a place to get curated news or other people's opinions, and this is a place where people can come for valuable information that they think they can trust.
Okay, so the differentiator is that you'll give them curated information?
No curated information.
Okay, no curated.
It's
okay.
not nobody's opinions, not news articles. You're just following, say, your friends or people that you know are knowledgeable about the stock market, and you're just a place for you to trade and also watch their activity, see what they're doing, and maybe let that influence you.
Okay, is there any risk of partnering with, trying to partner with a Robinhood and them saying, sure, let's see your presentation. They like what you do, and they say, we'll just do it ourselves.
This would definitely be something that we would have to establish before we went and, sought after partnerships. We would have to cover our own end to make sure that that doesn't happen. So.
Right. So the catch-22, as it were, is that you'd have to be a broker-dealer before you could go, or be able to process trades before you went to a Robinhood to ask them if you could process trades.
Okay. Right.
So. Okay, last question. What is your distribution model? It's very, very difficult to launch one of these. I mean, you see the celebrities, Ashton Kutcher and
yeah,
some
Will
other
Smith
folks
is
that
on there.
Will Smith they're promoting those fractional share trades. What is your distribution? How do you make this social, and how do you scale it quickly? So that, by the way, when you do a third party, you'd have to give so much volume to them, right? Mm-hmm. For them to want to process your trade. It's just got to make sense. So the volume is got to be, so high for them to want to take it. So, because they're not going to go look for, one or two trends. It's fractional, remember?
Right.
So they got to put, at $400 or Tesla you mentioned, if everyone wants to put in $12, like that's a lot of people you got to bring in to put in one share. For them to go find that is it's a lot of work on there, and there's algorithms. But what's your model to actually get this out?
So we want to start by just, whether that's filing for a brokerage, like the first BD form, like get that process already going, as well as starting to talk with developers so we can start to actually either do a version of this that is without trading, whether they're linking their portfolios, and this is more of just a social thing to see what people are doing. That could be a way to gain traction, or we can just market the heck out of it and try to get a wait list and gain traction that way.
Okay. Dr. Tran has spent many years in this business, so I'm curious as his questions, what he has to say.
Trace, excellent presentation. I think you identified a very strong and big market opportunity. Now, there are two sides in this market. The first side is what Mr. Vera was identifying, which is the broker company, a brokerage company. The other side is to build a social finance community, the way that you show on the board with TweetTalk. And I happened to talk to the founder of TweetTalk, who was my neighbor in Coronado, San Diego, who launched the company about 20 years ago with $35 million to really capture the community. And he just raised another $100 million after another $50 million before. And he brought aboard the CEO of MarketWatch to build just a community, because he saw that it's difficult for him to compete in the brokerage market. So he said, well, I'm going to be the front end to channel all the user, and then I use those user, and he used the base of Twitter in order to build his TweetTalks company. Yeah. And his business model is I'm a social media, I'm a media company, meaning that I use my user to create content in order to channel the user into the Robinhood or America trade. So what exactly what you try to build? You want to be a brokerage company, or you want to be a social media, social public finance community company?
I think the first thing that the main thing that we really want to hit is being able to make trades with this as well, and especially with like the mirror feature, which is mirroring your friend's stocks. That would be a great way to like get those new investors or people that are sitting on the sidelines, get them off and started investing. And I think a lot of these other companies there's a lot of other companies basically that are trying to do the social thing, just the social thing. So we want to really try to incorporate the trading as well. And it is extensive in the process, and this is a big vision, but I'm always up for a challenge.
How much money are you looking for? Because venture capital-backed company is always continuously raising money. How much are you looking for in order to achieve which type of key performance index in order to raise the next round?
So just to become a broker dealer, we would need about $100,000 to $150,000 to start that process in capital, and then as well as building the app and developing, I would say another $500,000, and definitely anything in the millions would be very helpful to make this process go faster.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Excellent presentation again.
Thank you.
As you can see, our students are incredible. They're building incredible solutions to some huge problems, everything from energy to transportation to finance. We really are at the pinnacle of solving some of these huge problems. Now, our students are fantastic, yes, but this year, because of how weird everything is, because of how different everything is, because of how we've had to innovate and change this Canyon Challenge, Steve Thomas came up with an incredible idea. He said, what if we incorporated high schoolers into this Canyon Challenge? What if they brought their ideas to these problems? What if they brought their solutions to this world? Because the youth are the future of this country. They are going to be the ones that truly impact and change the world for their better. So that's why this year we partnered with local Valley high schools to bring some incredible pitches to this year's Canyon Challenge. Over the next couple of minutes, you're going to see 4 incredible pitches by various teams across the Valley that are truly going to change the world for the better. So if you're sitting at home and you're thinking, what does the future of GCU look like? What does the future of entrepreneurship look like here in the USA, in Phoenix, in the Valley? Well, you're going to see it today. So thank you to every single person, every single high school student who submitted a pitch. We had dozens of pitches come in from various high schools, and these were the 4 that were selected. So thank you guys for watching these pitches. To our judges, thank you so much for judging this competition. You guys are free to go and talk amongst yourselves to decide who the top 3 winners are from the College Canyon Challenge. So sit back, relax, and enjoy these 4 pitches. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Aiden DeGracias.
I'm Rahel Shaw.
I'm Sohan Wali.
And we're here to introduce you to our business called PD Tech. So the problem that we've noticed is the inconvenience of data transfer between doctors and then doctors and patients. And because of this, there is a lack of quality of work that is done at hospitals and medical facilities. And there can also be a lack of security between the data and the people. In 2014, CNN Business reported 90% of hospitals and clinics lose their patients' data, which is a pretty big deal because the data that they take could be crucial to people's lives and crucial to people's well-being. Many hospitals have had their data stolen very easily, which is a headline you can see time and time in the news. And 41.4 million patient records were breached in 2019, which is pretty recent, so it's a pretty big deal.
So to fix this, the product that we came up with was a subscription-based cloud service which would store all of a patient's data in a single location. And this is from all of their medical fields, but that would be categorized. So you would be able to just look inside a folder and you would have all of their data from their cardiac issues. It would be all in a folder and it would be all neatly organized. And there would be timelines and graphs and things that are made from this app, which make it really easy for the doctor to understand the patient's medical history. And we'd use secure servers, which would make sure that there isn't any breach of data and loss of data from the patients, which could be detrimental to their care. And so the reason for this is that it improves the overall quality of the patient's experience at a hospital and their patient care. It also reduces the cost that hospitals have to pay and insurance companies have to pay if a patient is insured. If not, then the amount of patient has to pay for different things. For example, when I was going to get get braces, we went to different doctors to see what they thought, and I had to get the same exact x-ray done at every single location we went to because there wasn't a cloud which the doctors could access where they could say, they could see the x-ray and then go based on that. They had to take it again, which was like $100 at every location. And so just to make sure that that it's secure, we have a backup cloud storage system, which would make sure that if there is something that happened to the main cloud, there would be a backup system so that none of the patient's data is actually lost. There would also be an active team which would be working to put off any live threats to the data from hackers, and there would also be other softwares and firewalls which would ensure that the data is very, very safe and secure.
For profit and costs, we decided that the total cost to create our business would come out to approximately $300,000. And next, we decided that our consumers would be purchasing a subscription, which would it's a subscription-based plan, and that's going to be dependent on the type of facility, which is going to be hospitals or clinics. And then for our price range, our platform is going to be $50 to $100 per month for the subscription, and that's also entirely dependent on the business. Next, for implementation, the platform is going to be implemented on a global scale eventually. However, PE Tech is going to start on a local scale. So we're going to start reaching out to hospitals in the metropolitan area and any hospitals, like small hospitals and clinics near us. And then with time, we're going to expand our outreach to larger branches of hospitals and other districts across the United States. For our publicity, we're going to create publicity and advertise on social media platforms and through consumer hospitals and clinics, and as well as hospital communities.
Hi, we are Majik, and we will poof your debt away. I'm Rian Salaji. And I'm Melissa Avalos. According to debt.org, in 2018, American household debt hit a record of $13.21 trillion, leaving many in debt or bound for debt. Our goal is to reduce the amount of people that go into debt and prevent others from doing so later.
Our product to fix this is a mobile video game where it will incorporate real life financial situations, but in an app that you can actually apply to real life. So if there's issues going on in real life, the game will have solutions to it. But except the twist is it's real, or it's an otherworldly experience where there's mythical creatures and forests and carriages and just things you wouldn't see here, except you'd be able to incorporate it into your life. And it also have appealing animations that will gather people's attention.
We are looking to help anyone from 16 to 30 years old, or around that age, that has an income of around $50,000 or less and an education of high school or some college. They will most likely be in debt, have poor spending habits, and or take care of family needs. We also would like them to live somewhere in like an urban city or area or a populated city in the United States.
For our how we want to communicate it to the world is through social media. We want to have profiles where every few days we would post maybe updates about the game or different features or like videos of gameplay. And then how we want to advertise it to everyone is like have actual ads through the social media sites that maybe will show gameplay or maybe some of our posts or links to our profiles.
In order to create our game, we are asking for $2,000, and any updates will be added later on with any revenue that comes from the game, which will come through special features that are in the game that you can purchase, and any extra money, the profit will be donated to organizations that help people that have family needs to take care of.
Thank you. I'm Ryan Salaji.
And I'm Melissa Avalos.
Our business is called J&M Bracelets, and with every J&M bracelet, there's a story. My name is Maddie Downing.
My name is Josie Ormsby.
Okay. Did you know that 60% of women are scared to go outside due to the fact that they might get kidnapped and never return? Well, it's true. And I know you're wondering, how does this teenager know what she's talking about? Well, let me take you back to Tuesday in 2020. I was on TikTok and I saw these two videos, which was teenagers warning other teenagers that they need to stay safe. Okay, so then I was a little less panicked because I know TikTok exaggerates everything. So then I opened up Snapchat, got in my group chat, and started texting my friends. And they all had personal stories and told me the exact same thing, that I needed to watch myself outside. Okay, so now I'm panicked. So I go to my mom and I said, Mom, what is going on? And she tells me the same exact thing. And so then I do some research and I look at the news and I find this article. Now I'm panicked. But then I start thinking, there must be something that I can do. Which leads me to my solution. Our solution are bracelets, but not just any bracelets. The bracelets that you press a button on the back of it and it sends your location. Now they're already programmed to say SOS, but if you wanted to further it, then you would download our app. Now speaking of our app has many features. It has a thank you note, which is just telling you thank you for buying our product. We have About Us, which tells you a little bit about both of us. I know we're 17, but we do know what we're talking about. And then location. Location will show you the safest places to go, and it will also show you your location just in case you didn't know where you're at. Now create. This is the most important part. It is your emergency message. If you don't like to say SOS and help, well, this is where you would click to create your own message. And then photo. You just take a picture of yourself, and then so the cops can identify you. And that's like the most important part because you want to be able to be found. Okay, so we're targeting 8 to 23-year-old females that are in middle school, high school, and college. And our geographics are with Mesa, Arizona. And as you can see, on the corner right here, you have Arizona, and there are 915 total missing people. Then for promotions, how we get the word out is we are doing surveys, Instagram, and Snapchat. And our ask is we ask for $25,000 to get our product started and to find us a place. I'm Maddie Downing.
And I'm Josie Ormsby. Thank you for joining the team.
Hello. Our idea is Ride Around, an app that aims to unite car rentals and user rentals on a countrywide scale using a free app called Ride Around. What problems exist that Ride Around aims to solve? Well, car rentals usually take large amounts of time to deliver a car to consumers, but when using the app, you can quickly get a car with Ride Around by using autofilled information that you put into the app when you sign up. Car rentals often have a somewhat limited selection of the cars they offer, but Ride Around aims to expand this by uniting car rentals and allowing users to put their own individual cars up for rent. Another problem that exists with car rentals is the method of charging users, who have to pay for a car they may not use more than once on a daily basis. But Ride Around wants to change this by charging users based on the distance that they go, rather than the distance that they don't.
Okay, so what does Ride Around do? What is Ride Around? So Ride Around is an app that connects dealerships and users to customers looking to rent a car through an app. So pretty much if there's ever a need for a car, wherever you are, there will be either a dealership available that has rental cars available, or users within the app can have their own vehicles for rent and charge whatever they want to charge for the vehicle's rent. Ride Around also replaces services like Uber and taxi, where someone comes, picks you up, and takes you to whatever location you want to be at. Instead, with Ride Around, you just...
Why use Ride Around? It is convenient and provides privacies to customers. You are able to take the car and go out whenever you'd like, wherever you'd like, on your own time frame and schedule without having to depend on services like taxis or Uber and calling ahead of time to be able to schedule your rides to go to places that you'd like to go. It also saves you money without having to pay to go to every single destination you'd like to go on whenever you rent a car with Ride Around. And additionally, it allows other users to put up their own car for rent to make extra money as a passive source of income if you have a car that you don't use as often, or you don't drive your own personal car as often.
So how will people hear about Ride Around? Ride Around will be advertised on YouTube prominently in tourist-heavy areas such as Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and New York. It'll also be advertised in these same cities and other big cities that don't have much tourists. We also have the Ride Around social media page on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. We also have a system called Refer a Friend, which after you rent your car, if you refer Ride Around to a friend, you will get 20% off your next rental.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Our judges have been deliberating, but before that, I want to make some comments about the wonderful efforts that our high school teams have done. Again, we had nearly 35 submissions. We had a student team and a faculty team reviewing them and selecting out those top 4 that you saw. And each of them hit on significant topics that are addressing the world, from the first one we saw related to medical issues, data problems that are in that space. They're huge, it's significant, we want them to continue to work on that, but they are not our winner. Keep on working, guys. The next one related to debt education. Absolutely fantastic, enormous problem. We exist here at GCU because we offer affordable private Christian education, and so we are truly dedicated to that. But no, you are not one of our two actual winners at the end, but I want you to keep on working on them. So our runner-up is actually Ride Around. So let's give them a hand, guys. Ride Around. You're going after a fascinating space, Airbnb for transportation. It's happening. There are other groups out there doing similar things, but we think you're doing a great job. And that means that we feel that the company M&L Bracelets has really gone after a significant problem, but what we love the most is that they focused. They actually had a unique niche right there in their neighborhood where they knew they could begin to solve this problem with that technology, and they delineated the services that they offered brilliantly. So congratulations to you. You are our first prize winner in our first High School Canyon Challenge. Let's give them a big hand. Randy Gibb, our fearless leader, would like to thank you as well, and then we will have our judges announce the winners.
Yes, that's awesome. I want to thank Steve Thomas for putting that whole effort together, roughly 30 high school teams. Now, to all of you, I say, let's just come to GCU, be part of Canyon Ventures, Canyon Challenge, Canyon Angels at Grand Canyon University. We'd love to have you join us and collaborate with these other amazing students that you saw pitch, our GCU students. And I really like Tim's comment about entrepreneurs create, capture value, solve problems for society, and that can be done at scale. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. So love the ideas, love the solutions. Let's make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy Gibb. And with that, our judges, through Robert, I'll pass it on to you, and you can explain your decision process, and we'll do a photo op.
Thank you all who attended here. Thank you for all the presentations. Thank you, Dr. Gibb. Thank you, Tim Kelly. Most of all, big shout out to our MC, Mr. Carson Foley. An amazing job today. Excellent work. I think you have a career in this. All of you at home, watching, all of you joining here as high school students, GCU is an amazing place to do this. We've got a business park right on campus here in Canyon Ventures. If you're interested in entrepreneurship, this is the place to be. So we took a lot of time to think about sort of this presentation and what we really valued in it. And we really like companies that are real companies. They can generate revenues. And that's one of the biases we have here. We want to make sure that there's companies that are viable in the marketplace. So I'm going to give the third place. Would you hold the microphone for me? The third place participant is Mr. Eric Youst. Third place. Could you come up here, sir? Eric's company, Generate, makes microbial batteries out of dirt. In second place, with Biohart, Mr. Wyatt Winfield. Excellent work, Wyatt. And to announce our first prize winner, Dr. Andre Tran.
Yes, I have the honor and the privilege to announce the first place. Let me look at my very thick notebook with all the notes. That would be Kaylee Sibo. Kaylee, come here. Congratulations.
And I just wanted to tell you why we picked Kaylee, sorry. It's because we value the fact that you've done the work. You're able to generate revenues, $3,000 in revenues. You're doing the work yourself. You're creating a custom product, and we're really proud of you that you were able to do that. So that's why we selected you as our first place winner.
And Kelly, usually any company, when the company started, the biggest risk that venture capital want to mitigate is the product market fit. And you prove the product market fit, even though it's a very simple product. It's difficult to find a product market fit, especially in a product that's very commoditized product. And you manage to get to the sale. You understand your cost structure very well. You understand your market entry and your strategy of acting in the market. So that's really great. We love all the moonshot project as well. Those are very, very technical projects. And Eric, I would advise you to keep going because those are projects that NASA and many researchers has been trying to solve for years and years. And you're very knowledgeable. You understand exactly my very difficult question of how to improve that distribution of energy through the desalinization techniques using the air, open air, salt water with stainless. So excellent. You're very impressive. And I'll leave.
Wyatt, a great job in discerning, what the market is for your product. You got some tough questions from Dr. Tron about six leads versus one lead, and you answered them really well. But you've done an incredible job to do it. Keep going. There's a market fit there. Keep going, and we're excited to see where both of you land in the next years to come. But congratulations to both of you.
Yes. Yes.
To everyone back home that watched, that took their evening to watch some incredible pitches and some incredible competition here at GCU, thank you. We couldn't do this without your support, and from the support of Tim Kelly, Dr. Gibb, Mr. Vera, everyone who's involved here at Grand Canyon University, that truly inspires entrepreneurship. So if you're a student currently watching and you're in high school and you're thinking, I want to build a business in my future, there is no better place to do that than here at Grand Canyon University. So thank you guys. And with that, we are officially done with this semester's Canyon Challenge. We will be back next semester for the second semester of this year. So thank you guys. Have a fantastic evening.